get started. All right, so resource we're going over tonight is on calculator.net. And there's a couple things I like to do on here, so I'm just gonna run through how I use them and how they work. All right, so the first one is just going to, again, calculator.net, scrolling down to the investment section. And there's a couple of them in particular I like to look at, and they're all like kind of related, really. So first one is the ROI calculator. All right, and this is just real simple if you're looking at ROI, right? So you're taking a trade, and you want to look at what percentage ROI it is that you'll be getting if you exit at a certain amount. So this is good if you're looking at trades, if you're going on it from a account basis, right? So if you say, hey, I'm starting $1,000 account, I want my account to be at $5,000, right? So if that's what your goal is, you come in, pop it in here, you can use the length. Let's say I want it to happen in 4 years, right? And it could be something, let's say 10 years, 10,000 to 50,000. And that might be something related to buying a car, putting down money on a house, paying for college for your kids, right? Let's say you have 4 years, your kids, you got to high school, calculate it out, shows you that your annual ROI is 49.53. So that means that if you take $10,000 and every year you get a gain of 49.53, then you'll end up building up to the point where you have $50,000. Right? And if you want an explanation for how it works, scroll down. That kind of explains, how ROI is calculated. Now, there's a lot of them on this investment calculator. And it's really just kind of one of those things that you solve for X, right? If you want to find out how long you need to be investing at a certain rate of return, with all the other factors, then you can solve for investment length, solve for start rate, additional conch, and in amount. So we're just going to work our way from right to left. So let's say that you're starting at $5,000, right? And you want to say, okay, I know that the market averages about 10% per year. I'm going to invest for 10 years straight, start with my 5,000 at the end of every year, right? So end of each year, I'm going to put in another 5,000. All right, you hit calculate, and that shows you at the end of 10 years, after you started with 5, added another 5 at the end of each year, and had an average return rate of 10% annually, you get this result. Not an average return. This would be if you got a 10% return rate. So you see your ending balance would be 92,000. On the total profit that contributed was 37,000, and the actual total amount of money that you put into it was 50,000, right? Which is that 5,000, times the extra years that you put money into it. So that's how you can break this down. Now, if you scroll down, it actually shows you this is what you started with. This is how much you made at the end of the year. Once you added in your extra 5,000, right? That's how we get to 10,500. Then you come down, you start with 10,500, make another 10%, right? That's how compound interest works, right? Is you're using the new money that you made to help contribute to you making more money. So let's say that, you had this kind of figured out, but you want to solve for how much I need to add every year, right? So let's say, hey, my target is to get to, 95,000. So still kind of using the same number. Starting with 5,000. Let's say that again, my goal is to be at 95,000, starting at 5 in 10 years. And I know, because I know how to choose stocks, I'm good at finding them on the dip, I can get a 20% rate of return. I talked to Jordan Martin, he helps me out. I can get a 20% rate of return every year. Calculate it out, right? And it shows you, hey, if you're starting with 5,000 and you're trying to get to 95 in 10 years with a 20% return rate each year, then that means that you would need to contribute every year $2,467, right? So that's going to be your annual contribution. At the end of the year, maybe you're saving money up, and that's about maybe $200 a month or so that you're setting aside. And at the end of the year, so you add it all in, you just keep on doing that, you'll be at $100,000, all right? So that's how this works. Again, if you want to look at the charts, graph of how it works, the actual annual schedule, the monthly schedule, right? Showing you how you're making the money month over month for each year. It's all laid out. All right, looking at return rate. So again, just solving for a different variable. You're coming in and you're saying, hey, I want to make $95,000. Let's say we make 100. Right, switch it up a little bit. So I want to make $100,000 in 5 years with 5,000. Let's with $1,000, right? So I got 1,000, Jordan. I want to get at 100,000 in 5 years, and I don't want to add any extra money. All right, and there's people like that, you know. I'll tell you, it's hard, but it's doable, right? As long as you're following the right strategies, processes, and systems, you can happen. So hit calculate. Shows you that you need to make a 151% return every year for 5 years to get to 100,000 in 5 years, right? So you want to break it down. You go from 1,000 to 2,500, just about. Double that up, or not double it, it's actually 150% gain. You get 6,000, 15, 39, 100,000. All right. So again, just another one that you can use when you're actually starting to strategize and say, hey, you know, what do I need to do? And the thing that comes into play with this is breaking down your strategy, right? If you're trying to over double your account each year, then you have to move a little different than I'm just going to buy Apple and Amazon. That's not going to get you 151% every year for 5 years. It's not how it works. All right. So you'll be taking a little more high risk approach. You might be trading more options, investing in stocks that have more volatility, higher growth potential, like new stocks that are just IPOing, new tech stocks that might be in their youth, right? Pharmaceutical stocks have a lot of volatility. Buying stocks like Marathon or Riot that are in that crypto space that have a lot of volatility, and trading those actively is how you could realistically just buying shares get to that point. So again, just taking this and breaking it down. Let's say, I don't want to do 100. I can't do 151,000 a year. Maybe at your current level, you say, you know what, I'm gonna just start with $10,000. So once I have 10,000 saved up, I still want to hit 100,000 in 5 years because I'm gonna go travel the world for the year, right? When I get 100,000 saved up, I'm just traveling the world all year, right? That could be your goal. Hit the calculate button. Now we're at 58%. Actually, you look at the free version of the profit calendar, you would have got more than 58% the past year. So it's doable just by trading shares. So now you say, cool, I can actually do this and utilize a strategy that I know can give me these results. And that's just another way I look at things and break them down is, looking at it to see what do I need to get to what I want, right? And we're almost through, but now we're going to the starting amount. So, hey, I want to get to 100,000 in 5 years. Let's go ahead and do 6 so we can switch it up a little bit. I know, working with Jordan Martin, that I can get a 40% not win rate, a 40% return rate on my money. I can get a 40% ROI. All right, so what I'll do is, I can add in, let's say I save $100 every month, right? So if you save up $100 every month, you'll finish with $1,200. And let's say you add that in to your portfolio or your buying power in your account at the end of the year. Hit calculate. All right. So that means that you need to start with $10,679.46, make a 40% gain every year for 6 years, and add in an additional $1,200 every year. And again, as usual, you want to look down here at the chart and look at the actual numbers. What I've done in the past, put this and copied it into Excel sheets. I printed it out before and kept it on my desk or put it on my wall so I could track progress towards the goal. All right, so if I'm looking at it from a month-to-month basis, I start with 10, 6, 7, 9, right? I can put this on my wall and say, okay, cool. first month, I need to make $300 in profit. And that's it, right? And you could walk away from that. Really, I make $300. Cool. I'm done trading until February. February comes around, let me find something solid. I need to make 312. Cool. And you just keep on doing it over and over and over again until you get to that year 5, you have your $100,000, or year 6, sorry, at the end of year 6, you have your $100,000. You can go take that money, travel the world, not worry about anything, right? Last one is the length. All right, so looking at it from a perspective of how long do I need to be invested, right? I have $10,000 I'm starting with. I want to get to 100,000. My return rate, I trade with Jordan Martin. He's cold. He's the greatest to ever do it. I'm getting 50% every year, and I'm not adding any extra money, right? All my money goes to new Rolexes because Jordan helps me make Rolex money, right? So when you're looking at this, go ahead, hit calculate, and you can change it for, beginning of the year or beginning of the month if you want to do it on a month-to-month basis. You can do it that way too. So now I see it'll take me a little over 5.5 years to get 100,000 if I do, XYZ shown on the screen. So what I encourage you to do is, if you have a particular goal in mind, right? Whether it's I want to make $400 each month to go towards bills. I want to make $100,000, and once I make $100,000, maybe you have a job where you could take a year off, or maybe you want to go work at a new job, so you're gonna quit your job, take a year to travel the world, then go work in the job, right? Whatever it is, I encourage you to come on this site, punch in the numbers, look at the actual numbers, and see what is needed, right? Maybe you go to starting amount, and maybe you say, I want to make 1,000, and I want to do it in 2 years with a 50%, return rate. I need to start off with almost $45,000. Ah, man, I don't have that much. Okay, well, maybe I need to push my years to 5 years and hit calculate. Okay, I got 13,000. I can do this for 5 years to get to my $100,000 goal, right? Maybe it's, you're looking at end amount, and it's, instead of 1 year, we're gonna act like it's, so we're gonna do it to 12, but we're gonna make it, matter of fact, we're gonna do like this, 1, right? So 1 month, but you're saying in 1 month, I just want an extra dollars to go towards bills, right? And in 1 month, I can get a 20% win, right? That one didn't work out how I planned it, but the other ones do, right? But again, use this site, right? Use this site, look at it, play with the numbers. I've done it like that before, where I've kind of like manipulated it to where I'm looking at it on a monthly basis. And I've done it where I've changed the numbers up to where I'm going on like weeks. I think I did it like this, where I was like, okay, if I want to do a certain amount, that's what I did. If I took $1,000, made 20% on that $1,000 every week, right? So instead of years, it's weeks, then I'd end up with 13 million. It's a little crazy, seems a little interesting. I don't know, it might be worth a shot. But again, that's going to end up this Saturday stock session. Again, this will be recorded, but go on this site, plug in the numbers based on your goals. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always happy to help you out. And we out.